Jim Winston here, Wine Central Command, and on Thursday night I hosted a tasting that focused on Syrah. And I was looking to compare and contrast different expressions of the wines coming from different regions. We began the tasting with two different wines from the Rhone Valley. And this is where we think Syrah, and we identify Syrah as a Rhone grape. And we looked at a southern Rhone, which was somewhat of an eye raise, because the south is known for a blend, like Châteauneuf-du-Pape, and it's really Grenache where that is the most famous. And yet, the wine that we looked at was actually 100% Syrah. We also looked at a wine from the northern Rhone, which is known for straight Syrah. And some of the greatest wines I've ever tasted come from the northern Rhone, Hermitage and Côte-Rôtie. We looked at an excellent wine from Saint Joseph, and these two wines were meant to be our reference point wines when we went to look for other regions. We saw some terrific wines from Australia, which I'm going to talk about in a second, Washington State, Central Coast, California, Santa Barbara, and also in Sonoma. And the wine that absolutely blew me away was actually a wine called Pax. And it is a wine from Sonoma, and I've had the wine years ago. And hands down, the wine had one of the most distinctive scent and flavor profiles I've encountered in this calendar year. Having said that, it's very, very specific. And it's the type of wine that you're either going to go gaga for or perhaps you're going to pass on it. Also, loved a wine from Australia, from Darrenburg. This is one of their modest wines called the Footbolt Shiraz. Delicious and an amazing value. And then there is this wine. It is from Andrew Murray Vineyards, and this is from Santa Ynez Valley, and it's the 2017 vintage. And it wasn't as nearly as powerful as the Pax, and it didn't have the texture that I saw in the Darrenburg, and yet here is the wine. And why am I looking at this wine? It's because I have an idea of something I want to enjoy with it, and it's a recipe that I've done, and it's a slow cooker jambalaya. And it brings to point that sometimes the best wine is not necessarily the wine that you're going to want to open up, not the food or the occasion. And this wine is called Tous les jours, which I sort of think of as meaning all day and every day. It actually means all days. And what it's meant to suggest is that this is a wine that is something that you can approach, and the wine has as an ease of drinkability, beautiful dark shade. You can see that here. It's typical for Syrah. And I didn't want a wine that was going to compete with the jambalaya. I wanted a wine that would be perfectly suited in concert with that type of a rich type of a dish. So I want to simplify the wine. I want beautiful flavor. I want soft on the palate, nice finishing acidity to cleanse the palate so I can eat more of that great jambalaya. I don't want a big, heavy wine to go with that big, heavy dish. Now, the review actually is quite good. The 2017 Syrah Tous les jours is supple, fruity, and delicious. True. Not to mention an incredible value. Also true. Dark cherry, plum, lavender, and spice are all pushed forward. There is so much to like about the Tous les jours, including its modest price. Said again. Once again, the Tous les jours over-delivers big time. And that's from Wine Advocate. And if you're interested in ratings, 90 points. But remember, of course, you drink for your pleasure, not for Wine Advocate, or not for mine either, for that matter. But this is the wine that, to me, was the one to choose from the tasting flight to specifically go with the jambalaya. It's the better choice, even though the Pax was clearly the superior wine, and so was the Darrenburg, in my opinion. Another sip here. Beautiful, beautiful wine. And if you're interested in the notes from the tasting flight, just give me a shout. Thanks. All the best.